The call came just after lunch, while I was still at my desk. "Savannah, did you hire movers?" my neighbor asked, her voice tight with confusion. "There's a truck outside your house, and your parents are hauling boxes inside." I froze, pen hovering midair over my paperwork. Movers? I hadn't hired anyone. My chest squeezed as dread spread through me. My name is Melanie Pierce. I'm 30 years old. And if you think you've witnessed betrayal, wait until you experience your own family rearranging your life without permission. I raced home, my heart hammering harder with every mile. When I finally pulled into my driveway, the world tilted. A moving truck idled at the curb. My sister's car sat crooked on the street. And through my wide-open front door, strangers were carrying boxes across the hardwood floors I'd worked years to afford. I stormed inside. Mom was in the kitchen, barking orders like a field commander. Dad was hauling furniture up the stairs, and my sister stood with her smug husband, pointing at rooms as if she were giving a tour. "What is going on here?" I demanded. They froze. For one brief moment, guilt flickered across my mother's face, then vanished beneath a placid smile. "Sweetheart, calm down," she said. "Your sister's family needs space. You don't need this whole house to yourself." My stomach dropped. "This is my house, bought with my money. You had no right." Dad's voice rumbled down from the stairs. "Don't be selfish, Melanie. Family shares." Shares. The word burned like acid. They weren't sharing, they were taking. Boxes with my sister's name scrawled across them littered my living room like landmines. This wasn't a mistake. It was an invasion. "Get those boxes out. Now." My voice came out sharper than I expected, but Mom just waved me off. "Don't overreact, Melanie. Your sister's family is struggling. You've got this big place all to yourself. You'll adjust." Adjust? To strangers in my kitchen? To my bedroom suddenly converted into a playroom for her kids? Heat rose up my neck. "This isn't charity," I snapped. "It's trespassing. You broke into my home." Dad clomped down the stairs, face flushed with irritation. "We used the spare key. You gave it to us for emergencies. This is an emergency." I let out a bitter laugh. "An emergency is a fire, Dad. A burglary. Not your favorite child needing free rent." My sister finally spoke, arms folded. "We deserve this, Maddie. You don't even appreciate what you have. You're single. No kids. No responsibilities. Why not let someone who actually needs this house live here?" The movers shifted uneasily, glancing at me as though they'd stepped into a war zone. I turned to them, voice steady. "Stop unloading. This isn't authorized." One hesitated. "Ma'am, your mom hired us." "She's not the owner," I cut in, pointing at myself. "I am. And if you keep unloading, you're part of a theft." That did it. They set the boxes down and edged back toward the truck. My sister's husband muttered under his breath, but I didn't care. I pulled out my phone and hit record. The red light blinked, capturing my parents, my sister, and her boxes, evidence. "Maddie, turn that off," Mom's voice cracked. "This is family business." "No," I said, my tone ice cold. "This is legal business now." For the first time, I saw a panic flicker in her eyes. My sister lunged at me, trying to snatch the phone. "Delete that, Maddie. You're not going to make us look bad." I stepped back, holding the phone higher. "You don't need me to make you look bad. You're doing that yourselves." Dad's voice boomed, sharp and commanding. "Put the phone down, Melanie. You're not dragging this family name through the mud over a misunderstanding." "A misunderstanding?" I barked out a shaky but fierce laugh. "You broke into my house. You hired movers without my permission. You tried to push me out of my own life. How is that a misunderstanding?" The movers slipped out with murmured apologies, one whispering "good luck" as he climbed into the truck. Even they knew how ugly this had gotten. My sister crossed her arms, her voice dripping entitlement. "You're really going to kick us out? After everything Mom and Dad have done for you?" I lowered my phone just enough to meet her eyes. What exactly have they done for me? Forgotten my birthdays? Mocked my choices? Sold my things behind my back? Tell me, sister, what do I owe you? For once, she had no reply. Mom's tone turned cold. "We're only trying to help your sister. Don't you dare turn this into some sort of betrayal." "Don't I dare?" My voice shook with rage. This is betrayal, and you've made it clear where I stand in this family at the bottom. Always replaceable. Always disposable. Not anymore. Silence, heavy and deafening. And for the first time, I knew they finally realized I wasn't going to fold. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more stories like this. I walked right past them, my pulse pounding, but my hand stayed steady. At the door, I flicked the deadbolt with a sharp snap and turned to face them. You're not welcome here anymore. Mom inhaled sharply like I just struck her. Meline, you don't mean that. We're your parents. I held up my phone, scrolling to the video I just recorded. The movers, the boxes, my family caught in the act inside my home. This goes to my lawyer tonight. If you ever come into this house again without my consent, the police will see it too. Dad's face flushed, his voice thundered. You wouldn't dare call the cops on your own family. I met his gaze. Try me. My sister folded her arms with a smirk. You think anyone will believe you over Mom and Dad? Everyone thinks you're dramatic. I gave her a cold smile. Everyone will believe the deed with my name on it. Everyone will believe the footage. Everyone will believe the texts and emails where you already admitted you're moving in. I'm not the dramatic one here. I'm the prepared one. For the first time, my sister's confidence faltered. Her husband tugged at her sleeve, murmuring about leaving. Dad looked ready to erupt, but it was Mom's face that stilled me. Pale, drawn, frightened. Please, she whispered. Don't do this. Families share. Families sacrifice. Funny, I said quietly. That only seems to count when I'm the one losing everything. I swung the door wide and pointed outside. Out. They hesitated, waiting for me to soften. But I didn't blink. Finally, they picked up the boxes and filed out into the night. I shut the door. This time, the lock clicked like music. The house was silent again, but my heart still pounded. I walked through each room, staring at the half-unpacked boxes with my sister's name scrawled on them. Evidence. Proof. Every cardboard edge screamed entitlement, and instead of anger, something colder settled in. Resolve. That night, I sat at my desk and composed an email. Not to my family, to my lawyer. I attached the security footage, my own video, and photos of the movers' contracts they'd left crumpled on the counter. Within an hour, my lawyer replied, Good. This establishes trespassing and attempted unlawful occupancy. Don't worry, we'll handle it. The next morning, I posted a single photo online. My front door with boxes stacked outside. The caption, When family forgets boundaries. The reaction was instant. Messages flooded in, friends, co-workers, distant relatives I hadn't heard from in years. Some offered sympathy. Others shared their own nightmares. But one thing was clear. My family's polished image of perfection was unraveling. By noon, my sister called. I let it ring. Then Mom. Then Dad. Finally, a text from Dad lit up my screen. Take that post down. You're humiliating us. People are talking. I smirked. For years, I'd been humiliated, dismissed, erased. Now they were choking on shame. I didn't delete the post. I pinned it to the top of my profile. For the first time, I realized my revenge didn't need shouting or violence. It only needed the truth. By the end of the week, the cracks in their reputation were everywhere. My sister's boss asked why her family was in the middle of a trespassing scandal. My mother's charity circle went silent. No invites, no lunches. Dad's old golf buddies were suddenly too busy to call him back. The golden family image they'd burnished for years was gone. Meanwhile, I sat on my back deck, the lake breeze cool against my face, sipping coffee while watching their downfall unfold through my phone notifications. Every like, every comment made their humiliation heavier and mine lighter. At 8:14 p.m. that Friday, my phone buzzed again. This time, it wasn't anger, it was desperation. Mom, Meline, please take it down. We'll talk. We'll make it right. Dad, enough. You've proved your point. Stop this before it ruins us. My sister, delete it, Maddie. You don't know what you're doing. I laughed quietly, shaking my head. Of course I knew. I was giving them a taste of the isolation, disregard, and humiliation I'd swallowed my whole life. I typed one reply to my sister. 9 years you treated me like I didn't matter. One post and suddenly you do. Think about that. I didn't wait for her response. That night, I locked the doors, dimmed the lights, and let silence wrap around me. For the first time, it wasn't lonely. It was mine. The real lesson had only just begun. Saturday morning, pounding rattled my front gate. Through my phone's camera feed, I saw them, Mom, Dad, my sister, her husband, all standing there like exiles outside a kingdom they thought they owned. Mom's voice cracked, "Meline, please. We can talk this out. Don't do this to us." Her mascara streaked, her pearls gone. She looked nothing like the polished matriarch she'd paraded to the world. Dad, usually booming with authority, sounded small. "Maddie, you've made your point. Enough. You don't understand what people are saying about us. You're tearing the family apart." I almost laughed. Tearing the family apart. They'd been tearing me apart for years, piece by piece, while calling it love. Then my sister stepped forward, eyes red and blazing. "Delete the post. Let us move in, or I swear you'll regret this." I leaned toward the intercom mic, my voice calm, sharp, deliberate. "Regret? You pawned my trust for years. You tried to steal my home. You humiliated me at every chance. And now, because the world finally sees it, I'm supposed to regret you?" She froze, her lips trembling. I tapped my screen, and the gate locks buzzed, not to let them in, but to trigger the alarm. The shrill sound cut through the quiet neighborhood, sending them scrambling back to their car, faces pale, eyes wide. I didn't open the door. I didn't scream. All I had to do was show them they no longer had power here. For the first time, I was untouchable. By Monday, the storm had broken. The post was everywhere, shared, dissected, whispered about. Neighbors murmured. Coworkers gossiped. Even old relatives who'd ignored me for years suddenly had opinions. But the truth was undeniable. My family had tried to steal my home. The humiliation they once saved for me was finally theirs. I sat on my porch that evening, watching the sun slide down over the lake. For the first time in years, the quiet didn't feel heavy. It felt earned. My phone buzzed again. One last voicemail from Mom. Her voice was broken. "Meline, please. We've lost friends. Respect. Everything. Just take it down. We can't survive this." I let the message play twice, then deleted it. This wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about balance. For years, I was the forgotten one, the doormat, the scapegoat. They'd stolen my birthdays, my self-worth, my voice. But not anymore. Now they'd learned that some doors, once closed, don't open again. I walked back inside, locked the door, and poured a glass of wine. The lake shimmered through the glass walls of my living room. Peaceful, untouchable. As I sank into the couch, I whispered to myself, "This house isn't just mine. It's proof. Proof that I'm not disposable. Proof that their control is over." And when I finally powered off my phone, letting the silence settle in, I knew one thing for sure. They wanted me to regret drawing a line. But the only regret in this story would forever be theirs.